Hi guys, apparently the video I uploaded like a half hour ago didn't upload, so I'm going to try again. Cause I try and I keep going. So it's basically my next part of my makeup collection that I want to share with you. This is going to be basically my brushes. There's a lot, so I don't really want to have to do this again, but I love you guys. I love you so much that I'm going to do this again. Hold on. No, it's okay. Okay, I'm better. Okay. Alright, I'm good. Okay, so basically, move that mouse there. I have... Yeah. I'll start with how my brush set started. I got a set of Kirkland brushes, and they came with this little round tube-like structure to hold them in. They didn't hold very well, and my brush collection just kept growing, and I needed a place to put them. And this is what it turned into. Yeah, that's just the first thing I need to show you. Then I got my second Kirkland collection. This one. The difference between the first Kirkland brush set to the second one, way better. Holy moly. So if you do happen to see at your Costco that they're selling a brush set, buy it. And then Santa Claus a couple years back, not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before, put this little guy in my stocking, and it's a how to get the perfect smoky eye. Now what's funny is a lot of, except for the outer V brush on this, I don't see how this gives you the perfect smoky eye, to tell you the truth. Anyways, and I like this one because it magnetizes. Doop a doop. Now here's the big daddy. You guys have seen it. This one is the Colossal. There's brushes in here until today when I did my first video that is not uploading for some reason. I didn't even know they existed. So I'm going to go through another run through. I'll try to do it quicker again than I did last time. Basically, I want to show you what brushes are good, what brushes aren't great. You're not going to see every single brush. So let's start with this. Out of these, this was my first powder brush. Having a powder brush this size is good to have. However, this one I'm not liking so much, because when I'm trying to blend or trying to put powder on, the bristles on this one kind of fall out a lot, and I end up with like brush hairs all over my face. So having one this size is good, but I just don't care for that particular one. However, the pencil brush that they have is like my favorite brush. I could do very straight lines, like for outer V looks with this, like the look we just did. You know, I was able to create that outer V-ish thing we did with the Arabic look just by using this pencil and making a line outwards and kind of coloring it in. So that's why I like this brush so much. Not to mention, when you put colors under your eyes, this is the brush to have. Here are some brushes. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I have to do this like look through, because like I know them all so well. I can just like look, and I can know which one's which just by the handle. So here's like a set that you can get at CVS, and they're great brushes for like your outer V or for your crease. It actually says crease brush on both of them. So like with the smaller one, you'd be able to use this for either under your eye or to kind of do what we did with the Arabic look to make a straighter line. And this one would be, if you want to get really smoky under there, that would be good for this. And this one would also be good for your outer V. So CVS, the Essence of Beauty collections, they have some great brushes. Now, I am a stipple brush girl rather than a foundation brush. And here's the thing. So I have used a beauty blender. The thing with the beauty blender, it just seems to take too long for me. So I like the stipple like this. This was my first stipple brush. This is from Target, the Sonia Kashuk. And here we have your normal foundation brush. When you use a foundation brush, you tend to get streaks. No, if you're good at it, you might not, but when you're doing it, I'm gonna just, this isn't, I mean, the one I have from Coastal Scents I do like better, but this, I would go out and buy this. When you're stippling, you're not creating like lines on your face. You're really getting in there. You're really just like mixing and getting that on there for a very perfect matte finish look on your face. Where with, I find with the foundation brushes, they're better for like concealers, or if you really need to get under the eye. Like, I mean, you can even highlight under the eye with the foundation brush. That's mainly what I use foundation brushes for. But when it comes to actually putting on foundation, I'm stipple brush all the way. Here's my handy dandy eyebrow brush. I do notice I don't see a lot of girls in videos using these. I think these are really important, especially if you're Portuguesa like me, or Italiano, or somebody who has very thick hair like I do. So my eyebrows can get very long. I do have to trim them with scissors. Yes, I do. I brush them down, and I have my little scissors and I go snip, snip, snip. I don't really like to do my eyebrows myself, but when you don't feel like going to the threading place every stinking week, it turns into you doing it on your own. So I suggest, like, that's a must. So we're going to do like must-have brushes. This is a must-have brush. This is a must-have brush. At least one like it. So if you want to go and get the Essence of Beauties from CVS, go out and get it now. I do like this one. It's a fatter, it's an eyeshadow brush. It's just a bit fatter. I like this one for either putting on, like, if I'm not going to do anything on my crease and I'm just going to do a lid color and I want it to be kind of toned down and not so harsh, and I want it to kind of go up a little bit above the crease, this is a good brush for that. So I do like brushes of these size. It's just got to be a good brush. So far, this one is the only one I have found that I really like using that technique with. Here is technically an eyeliner pencil. It's like all loose for some reason, and I barely use it. This is really good for under your eyes too. If you don't want, if you're using gel liner, or if you just want a little bit of color and not like as thick, use one of these. And then another brush that, where are you? Here. This is that brush I always tell you about. This is really good for your gel liners. I particularly like the smaller one that you guys see me use. Where are you? Oh, I found you. Can you believe I can find brushes as quickly as they do with that big ol' mess? I prefer this over this, even though this is probably a better tool. This doesn't go to a point. I like it when it goes to a point, because then when I dip, I know it seems like I have better control with this than this, which is weird because that's why they make them like this, is so you have better control. But when I'm using this one, I can really go, you know, step by step by step by step by step, and it's pointed. So I can literally have it as thin as I want or as thick as I want. When you're using the other one, if it was pointed, I might like it a little better. Yes, it's easier to, you know, just go your eye with the liner. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Just telling you, I like that one better. That's all. Now, I don't have like a super great blush brush, like even the big set. I want a fatter one, because like blush brushes are also good for contouring. But I definitely suggest having a contour brush rather than, like, having both is better. So one for your blush, one to contour. But this is a must-have brush. You must have an angled blush brush. Another brush you have to have, if any brush in the world you're going to want, is your MAC 224. Like I said, I'll probably do a tutorial just using this brush. That's how versatile this brush is. I mean, I use it on my face, I use it on my eyes, I use it for practically anything you can think of. Well, hopefully not anything you can think of, but I use it for pretty much everything. This is a must-have. If you're gonna spend money on a brush, just the 224. Everything else you can find other places. I have some like other foundation brushes I didn't like. I got this with Bare Minerals. It's really not as great as they make it sound. I love the Target Sonia Kushaks, or however you say it. So far I've had great luck with them. This is you've seen me use. I mean, you guys are starting to see what brushes I use like on a normal basis, so you're starting to know what brushes I like and don't like. This is great for someone like me who needs to get higher up into the crease, because I do have a lot of space from where my lid stops to where my eyebrow starts. So this is perfect for my crease. And I have like a way that I do it. I do like this brush too. It's a small, stiff, teeny tiny shader brush. So when I want to do that pop of white underneath the brow, I can just do and then do, just barely. So that's also a good brush to have. It's not like a must-have, but you know, it's one you want. A brush I am going to say is probably a must-have, and I need to get a new one, is a kabuki. Kabuki you need. These are a lot better than like, now my powder brush that I use works great, but I really should get a better kabuki brush. I believe Makeup Geek sells them. I would check out Coastal Scents because their brush prices are very, very good. But when you really want to blend, you know, and blend in that contour, this is the brush to do it with. I mean, it really, these brushes are great. This will blend the crazy out of anything. Doesn't matter, like if you put on way too much of blush or, you know, bronzer or whatever, that'll soften it. This is another MAC brush I got when I was using it for like my eyebrows or for like liner. This is the MAC 266. It's a good brush to have. I'm not saying don't buy it, but there are so many other companies that make this same exact kind of brush that you don't need to buy it from MAC. However, I have never found another company who makes a brush like the 224 ever. So that's why this is like such a must-have in my book. Here's my lip brush I haven't used, which I want to use because I have all those new lip colors from, see, the way, I love how it works too, is it's closed like that, and then you take it and you put it like that, and you have your lip brush. So some of my lipstick has come off. Sorry guys, because I already recorded this and it didn't upload for some reason. Then there's brushes like this. I like because if you want to do a really cut crease, they're really good. And then what you do is you dip it in your color, and then you start from like either the inside, and you go in an upward motion as you're going out, and you get thicker and higher and higher, and it just creates, it kind of does create that straight line. The very first look I ever did was using that technique. It's not really an easy thing to do, like for your first time really learning makeup. We will do it, but so having a brush like this is probably a must-have brush, because using that technique, you can get some amazing looks. Because there's a lot of times where you can do looks where you start with your crease first and you don't put nothing on your lid, and you want to do your lid last. So this is the brush to get for something like that, or the main focus is the crease and then it's lighter on the lid. Everybody should have, and I have like, how many? One. Oh, those are scissors. This is what I trim my brows with. So, oh, here's another. Ah, it got stuck. Oh no. Oh, duh. Another brush for my eyebrows. But everybody's gonna need some eyelash curlers, even if you use falsies. This is another Jeana's must-have brush. Your stiff eyeshadow brush. This was very hard to find. I have yet to find another. This is the only one I have. I lose it, I will flip out. Like flip out. Because with pigments, with all of your shadows, this packs it on. This makes those colors, like when you take your pigment and you put it in that lid and you press down this brush, because it's the way that it's shaped and because it's thick and it's a little bit more stiff, that color sticks to this stinking brush. And when you put pigment on your lid with this brush, you're talking wow color, like major color. You're not going to get that with a softer eyeshadow. Like if I were to do it with a brush like this kind of a, this is also, I think, yeah, it's Bare Essentials. I do like the other end though because it has a pencil brush. But like, say you were using this as an eyeshadow brush, you're not going to get the same look that you're going to get with a brush like this. So I don't know if MAC has one because I found this, so I never bothered to look at MAC. But if MAC does have a brush like this, buy it. If you ever find a brush like this, buy it. Must have. Okay. This one is, it says finishing. This is basically like for, I use it for highlighting. I don't always use it for highlighting, but you can use it for highlighting. I just saw it at CVS and said, hey, I'm going to buy that. I have like a jillion pencil sharpeners in there. So that's, for this, pretty much it. As far as like what I would use or what you guys should have. You know, like I said, not all of these are must-haves, but the ones I say that you guys should get. And then I got this one from Santa Claus. It's supposed to be like your 5 easy steps to a smoky eye. It's kind of weird because there's some brushes in here that shouldn't even be in here. Now, this would be for like under your eye. It's a small version of the angled liner brush. The only one I really use in here is I do use this for my eyebrows because the other one has like been through it all. But this is the best outer V brush I've ever had. Not to mention I also contour my nose with it because it's stiffer, so I can get the color on, and then I go back with another brush to blend it out. So I really like this brush, and this is a pretty cheap little set you can get. It has like eyeshadow brushes and stuff. It's got like 2 eyeshadow brushes, like a smaller one and then a thicker one. But like I said, it's like with soft brushes like this, like yeah, they're good, but not like that. You want a really good stiff eyeshadow brush when you're especially for pigments and stuff like that. This was the second Kirkland set I ever bought. Well, the first one I didn't buy, it was a gift. The stipple brush, bleh, I didn't like it. Sorry, Kirkland. However, there's a lot of brushes in here I use daily and couldn't live without. This is, instead of that bigger one, I use this one. This one is so soft and it blends everything for me, and it's just, it works perfect for me. So I don't really feel like I need to go out and buy a bigger one, but I definitely recommend if you see a new Kirkland set come out, buy it, because the difference between those to these is huge. This is a foundation brush, which I don't really, if you can see, it looks like it's never even been touched. I have used it for highlighting, because you can use a lot of different brushes for highlighting. It always depends on what you're highlighting, like what you're, basically, is it a powder, is it super shimmery, you know. One of these, this is the, I was telling you guys, it's like an eraser brush. So say like you get like a little bit of mascara down there, you can just quickly like wipe it away, or you can even get these wet and it make it easier if you get like in your inner tear duct, like you get black you don't want, you can kind of easily remove it. So those are good to have. This one's another one I like because like my paint, like when my nails get super long, I will, and apparently I didn't clean it after I used it last. Like if I have a primer, like a paint pot I want to use, like my Painterly, I have to use a brush. And this is a really good, this brush is, because it's kind of stiff, yet it's still kind of soft. So it puts on the primer really well. And I use, even like with Too Faced, if like my shadow insurance, as soon as my nails get too long for me to be able to do it myself, this is what I use. So any brush like that would be good for primers. This one has seen a lot of days. This is what I normally use to start my outer V, and then go back. I start my outer V, I go into the crease with the darker color, and then I usually use the bigger one to kind of finish it up and soften stuff up. But I would definitely, if this is another must-have, if you find a smaller stiff dome brush, buy it. And that's Sonia Kushak, that's a must-have. So you want your large, like your larger of the dome brush, you want your medium, and you want your small. This is a must-have. Any angled liner brush is a must-have. One, you can use shadow to you can use shadow as eyeliner. You can use this for under your eyes. This is what I use for my eyebrow color. So that's why Like, those are just their... If something's good for multi-purpose, then I say it's a must-have. Okay, we're opening the big kahuna. Never knew it till I had it. Must-have fan brush. When you have like a shimmer brick or any type of highlighter that you want to put on, even bronzer, this is perfect because you can just lightly go over it and just kind of dust it on where you don't have like super like, oh my god, she's got like a cake of shine on her top of her cheekbones. This is perfect. You just glide over it, you glide it onto your face, and it's perfect. So must have fan brush. So glad that my husband got this particular set, because there's brushes in here I haven't even used yet. Best stipple brush I've ever had. Ever. I like, when this thing's ready to die, I'm going to buy my next stipple brush from Coastal Scents. That's how much I love this brush. I have never been able to have such great coverage when putting on foundations and mixing colors than with this brush. This is the holy grail for me of stipple brushes. Another must-have brush, which is kind of hard to find. You can find it obviously at Coastal Scents. This is technically a contour brush. You can also use it as a blush brush. This will give you the perfect amount and the exact size that you want to have as a contour. It's not angled, but it's perfect. I mean, you can do the sides of your face. I mean, every part that you're contouring, this is a must-have brush. I mean, their blush brush in here is so small, I don't even use it. I might, like, if I decide to use it as a, for highlighting. Like, this is a highlighting brush. Looks kind of like a, almost like a foundation brush, but it's not. It's actually a highlighting brush. I just don't really use it all that. I've used it, I just don't use it all that much because I have so many other ways of using it. Now the one, their foundation brush is really small. Like, this would be good for concealer though, like for under your eyes, or just like if you want to like get bigger areas than normal. I definitely use it for concealer. As you can see, like pretty much the rest of these I don't use. Like, you've got your big fat eyeshadow brush, and then this is a concealer brush. This is basically what a concealer brush literally looks like. I don't usually use concealer brushes. Now if I was gonna have a client, then yeah, I would use the concealer brush. Don't be putting concealer on people with your fingers. Not cool. This is basically another version of, it's like a rounded, like this would be good for either your crease or for your outer V. It's kind of very similar to the other one. It's made by the same brand, so just haven't used it. Like, most of these I haven't used. And here's the one that, like, I don't even know what it's for. It's literally a fat angled brush. Look at it. It's like full fat and it's angled. I'm going to have to go to the Coastal Scents website and find out what the heck this brush is for, because it's killing me that I don't know. I should know what this brush is for, and I don't. It's like the mystery brush. I'm like, what do I do with this? Do I put it on my face? Does it go on my eye? I have no idea. It's a mystery brush. See, here's another one that's like a pencil brush or outer V brush. There's just so many brushes in here. It's insane. It's another good pencil brush. So like when ones that I have like decide to die, I can just move on to these. Here's a really good brush for that technique I'm talking about. It's not as stiff though. That like you just go and you start in the inner and then you work your way up and you create the color up. We'll have to do a tutorial using that technique so you guys can see. And then there's like more angled brushes and then that eraser brush. So that's basically it. So the brushes that I said that you guys really should get them. I mean, I'm serious, get them. You don't have to get them at MAC. The only one I honestly think that you need to get from MAC is the 224 because I have never seen another brush. Like, even in this giant case, out of all these brushes that I have, I don't have any other brush that's like the 224. And that 224 has multiple uses. I highlight my cheekbones with it. I mean, go out, save the money. Yes, they're pricey, but just that's the only brush you need from MAC. I do want to do a look using that brush. I gotta figure something out because that brush is just perfect. But so that's it for my brushes. My part 2 of my makeup collection. I think next we'll be looking at like foundations and like stuff like that. I don't have very many, but we'll go over some kind of just like a mixture of stuff that I have. And then, I mean, trust me, this will be a good series to show you guys a lot of different colors, different textures of when I get to my glosses and I get to my lipsticks and blushes and bronzers and all that, because I tend to overdo it. It's like I can have 1,000 blushes, but if I find one from wherever and I go, ooh, that would make a good blush, or ooh, that would make a good contour, I buy it. Sorry, I just do. Can't help it, especially if it's cheap. But I got that Makeup Geek shipment coming literally any day. It could be today. If it's today, I'll come back, do another video. I hope that other video doesn't pop up, because then there'll be 2 of these. Oh well. So that was the fast I can. Yeah, only 30 some odd minutes to show you like 1,000 brushes. Not too bad. Alright guys, well, I will see you probably when I get my shipment, and you know, I'll be doing like my bag for this week and all that fun stuff, and hopefully my actual website will be done soon. So I love you all, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you to subscribe. Okay, just please. And please go to my blog. Yes, it's on Tumblr, but it won't be for long. And I can do so much more. I swear I can. Trust in me. Just trust me. Okay, so lots coming up. My blog, jeana48h.tumblr.com. Go to it. Lots of good deals you can find on there. Not to mention my videos. Not to mention other cool pictures and stuff that I do. So, alright guys, I'll seriously talk to you later, and I hope you have a good week. Alrighty? Ciao. Bye.